Right, this is going to be the one most important video that you're going to watch on how to 10x your earnings on OFM. So this is a lesson that I learned in God knows how many years, and I want to teach it to you guys in a very, very, very short YouTube video. So pay attention to the whole thing, because this one simple lesson, once you understand it, you'll actually be able to understand how to consistently grow on social media for your OnlyFans models. Because in most cases, most agencies, they don't really struggle with getting their first client. Genuinely, that part is fairly simple. The part that most people struggle with is with the marketing. First of all, what to do in the marketing, but then more importantly, how do you stay consistent? Because what most people do is they'll send like these little TikTok videos that the girl just has to recreate. And sure, every now and then it might go viral, but it's not very consistent. And when there's inconsistency, you're able to lose clients very, very easily. So first things first, you must understand the game that we're in. We're in the game of social media marketing. That's all it is, right? Sure, some people call it OFM, this and that, but really and truly, all you're trying to do here is run influencers, right? Or create influencers, create celebrities, create whatever. And therefore, you must understand, how do you even do that in the first place? In order to do that, you must understand how the platforms work. So let me give you a quick lesson, and I'm gonna try and give you some analogies to understand better how to actually understand the platform itself. And by the way, that's exactly what I've been doing. If you're new here, my name is Marcus Hustle. I've been running an OFM for the last 4 or 5 years, coming up to 5 now. And that's what's been able to afford me these cool little things. And by the way, no, they're not rentals. You can check out my Instagram. Anyway, so once I understood this, everything made so much sense and I was able to 10x my income. Now, what is it? So first things first, the social media platform themselves. So this is how and why they work. First of all, you watching this right now, what do you think that the social media wants the most? TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, even Twitter. What do they care about? What do they want the most? Is it maybe views? Is it maybe likes? Is it maybe It's none of that. It's attention and retention. Only thing they care about is how long can you or your client retain the people on the platform? How long can they keep you on that platform for as long as possible? You might be wondering, why do they do that? Or, no, yeah, it's the Matrix. My friend, simply the reason why they do it is they want to retain people for as long as possible so they can show them more ads. If they're able to show these people more ads, it means more people like me are gonna pay these platforms to show more ads. Makes sense, which means they make more money. If nobody's on the platform or they're only on there for about a minute or two, think how many ads you're gonna show. Probably not many, right? And you could show as many as possible, but if no one's on there actually paying attention and looking at the ads, then people are gonna stop paying for it. This all starts to make sense, right? So that's the only thing that these platforms actually truly care about, is attention and how long you can retain people on that platform for. So then if we understand that, we must lean into it with our clients that we're working with, right? So what most of you guys are doing, you guys are just taking your client and let's just say she is nothing specific about her. She might be just a hot chick, she's blonde, etc., right? But there's nothing specific about her. And you get her to redo these little viral TikTok dances, etc., and you post them on TikTok or Instagram Reels and you hope for the best. And by the way, sure, every now and then it will go viral. And let me explain how and why all of this works. But wouldn't it be better is if you could consistently, rather than getting 5,000 views, and like 100K, and then back to 5K, wouldn't it be better if you could consistently get 10,000, 15, 50,000, 100,000 every single reel that you upload? Well, believe it or not, there is a way to actually crack this. Now, in order to explain this and for you to understand how and why, let me explain from the social media's point of view how and why certain content sometimes goes viral. So, you watching this right now, when you go on your For You page, whether it's TikTok or Instagram, it's most likely going to show you things that you're interested in, correct? Maybe you're into cars, maybe you're into watches, maybe you're into golf or tennis. I don't fucking know. I don't care, right? Whatever you're into, that's what's being shown on your For You page. The same with all the other billions of people on social media, right? So, why is this important? Because if you're getting your client to create very generic videos where she does a little dance and that's about it, and there's nothing specific about it, when you post it on social media, let's just use Instagram as an example, it has to look at a massive pool of people, which is just pretty much anybody, who might be interested in this content, right? It can be 200 million, it could be fucking 300 million people, right? And it has to choose and it has to guess out of these 200 million people who would maybe like and interact with this video of your client dancing, right? And why do they do that? It's because if they show it to the right people and they like it, it means that they're gonna retain that person on their platform for a little bit longer, which means they can show more ads and make them more money, right? What is the opposite? If it shows the piece of content to somebody who's not interested, swipes away, or worse off, watches your content and swipes off of the ad, then all of a sudden the platform's like, oh, no, this is terrible content. Let me not show it to more people. And that's how you just consistently only get like 1,000 views, right? So how can you fix this? So you yourself, think about it. You, me, everybody, we all have our own kind of For You page, right? There's certain things that I'm interested in, certain things that you're interested in, etc. So for me, my For You page is mainly just watches and cars. And it's very specific. It's also not like you can go into levels of this, right? Within watches, are they sports watches or they're luxury watches? I mean, those are kind of generic, but cars, is it like family cars? Is it like monster trucks? Is it lorries? Is it tractors? Or is it sports cars? Is it supercars? Is it hypercars? Is it electric cars? What color is the car? Does that start to make sense, right? And let's just say, for an example, I was to only interact with photos and videos and reels of just red Ferraris. Just red Ferraris. That's the only thing that I liked, I commented on, etc. If I'd done that for 3, 4, 5 days, my For You page would be about 80-90% of just red Ferraris. Because the algorithm has learned, oh, okay, this guy, he really likes red Ferraris. So let's just show him more of this because he has built a tendency of liking previous content like this. Let's show him more of this. By the way, stay with me. This will all start to make sense within OFM. So if we understand that, and this is a fact, this is just how social media platforms work, then we must lean into it. And how can we lean into it? So with your client, instead of getting her or him to create very generic content that has gone viral for somebody else, and now you think, well, just recreate this, it will probably work. It might, but it probably won't. Instead, you must understand or try to figure out a niche for your clients. There must be something that your client is interested in, hobbies, knows a lot about, etc., that you can get them to create content around. And here's how all of this starts to make sense, and it fixes everything for you. Not only is your client going to be way more happy and interested in creating the content because he or she is actually interested in that thing. It can be anything, golf, tennis, etc., right? Let's just use golf as an example. If she genuinely enjoys playing golf and she knows how to do it, there's way less girls on OF creating content around golf than there is about, I don't know, yoga or just generic little dances. So you're already a very, you're standing out, right? That's the first thing. You stand out from all the competition. But the most important thing, what we're trying to do here is we're trying to crack the algorithm on social media. And this is how it works. So in the first analogy that I gave, which was getting your clients to create very generic content and it's just like a little TikTok dance and you're hoping for the best. And Instagram's trying to choose out of 200 million people, okay, let's show it to these people, let's show it to these people, let's show it to these people. And every now and then it shows it to the right group of people within the 200 million people and it goes and it gets 1 million views. Very rarely, but it does happen, right? And this is where most of you guys think, oh, well, this is it, I've cracked it. But it's not quite it, you just got lucky. It's just social media found the right people at the right place at the right time. What's more scalable and consistent and predictable is if you get your client to create content around a specific niche. Let's just use golf as an example, right? Now, if your client creates content around golf, like golfing, for example, then Instagram has a way easier job at figuring out who to show the content to. So now, sure, let's just use it as an example. Instead of out of 200 million people, there's perhaps only 20 million people, right? Who are like really into golf, they interact with this content, etc. And think about who's the demographic typically who play golf? Probably the same people who are going to be paying, right? Not all of them, by the way. If you're paying golf, like, bear with me here. All of a sudden, Instagram has a way easier job to figure out who the ideal client avatar is. It's just these people right here. So then it leans into it and it shows it to just this group of people. And because these group of people already have a tendency of liking previous videos and photos to do with golf, and now there's a hot chick in the video, of course they're gonna like the video. And they're gonna interact with it, they're gonna follow, they're gonna share it, and so on and so on, right? And this is how you can consistently grow every single day, every single week, every single month. Now, I just tried to explain what I explained to all of my students in weeks and months, but I just tried to do it in about 10-15 minutes. If you wanted to learn more in more detail, I'm not trying to sell you, genuinely not trying to sell you anything. There's a free course. You can check it out. It's a link down below. It's completely free. You can check it out. But once we understand this and once we cracked it, ideally you want to split test 2 or 3 different niches. You want to test it for about 4 to 6 weeks. Make sure your client is actually creating the content. Another pro tip is you can get your client to just hire one of her girlfriends or just a friend who's happy to hold the camera and record. Because for example, let's just use the golfing example. Realistically, she's not going to carry around a tripod. I mean, like, she could, but is she really going to carry around a tripod on a golf course and then set it up, make her swing, and then go to the next one. No, it's just not. So just reach out to your client and say, hey, do you know any of your friends, a girlfriend, etc., who just has a bit of time on their hands? And for once or twice a week, they can come and help you create some content and you can pay them, right? All of a sudden, content is fixed. You can stay consistent with uploading, just stay getting your client to do it first. And then eventually, once you start to make a bit of money, you can then hire people or do it yourself, buy a second and a third iPhone. You can then start to redistribute that content, create more edits from one piece of content. And that, my friends, is how you can get results like this. I'll put it up on the screen. I mean, we have been doing this for such a long time and we have truly cracked the code. I've just tried to explain it, everything that I've learned in the last 4 years when it comes to marketing in about 10-15 minutes. But again, if you wanted to learn in more detail, you can check out the links down below or just message me on Instagram @MarcusHustle. I wish you all the best, and OFM truly is the biggest opportunity to make money right now.